Say it's Friday, Junior. It's Friday, Junior, y'all. Good morning to everybody. Oh, man, y'all been active, man. Y'all been active. Yo, appreciate it, D-Rob. Hey, man. I got a bunch of stuff in my closet that I can't wear because I lost some weight. So I've been struggling. I'm trying to buy this house, so we ain't trying to buy too much. So I've been trying to get in where I fit in, and had a meeting I had to dress a little bit for. But I promise you, while I was in my closet throwing stuff in the floor, kicking things, I was mad. I was like, man, I need some more clothes, bad. We need to do something. And you know what's interesting? I didn't realize, I was freelancing for a long time. And so I had a bunch of suits and a bunch of dress clothing that I never wore, because you don't really need to dress that way when you in a studio, or you behind the scenes on set somewhere, or you out in the woods filming some stuff. You don't have to dress like anything. But going in the future, this is what I'm probably going to look like most of the time, because I've made some decisions in life, and I'm changing a few things, and I'm going back to some of my first loves. Some of my gifts and my talents, I'm going to start using them a little bit more, which is going to require me to dress a little bit more spiffy. So I appreciate the compliment. But yes, first things first, for the first order of business, let's give a huge shout out to Toronto Riggins for claiming back her spot. She called it yesterday. She shared it for a few minutes, but she said, you know what? Y'all had y'all fun. It's my turn, and I'm back now. Good morning, everybody. It's Friday, Junior. Good morning. This whole communication journey we've been on, it's something that we do every day, so it's very common. We all know about it. There's not a lot to say about communication that you don't already know. So the thing is trying to help unpack how to do it more effectively, but also focusing on some of the barriers, some of the things that get in the way of communications. And so yesterday we had a case study on Chadwick Boseman. And although he was more an actor, a storyteller, and he wasn't, it was more based off his life preparation, how he was dedicated to the art of communicating, whether it was through writing, whether it was through speaking. He was intentional about it. And so when opportunities came, he was ready to take advantage of them. But he also had to go through a proving ground of sorts, a testing period. And he made it through successfully. And now he's created a lasting legacy for years to come. Years to come. And before that, we talked about communication barriers. Let me go back in my notes. It's been a busy week for me. What is communication? I talked about my time in the military with comm systems and how there being a transmitter and there being a receiver. And so today I want to focus on, because it's Thursday, we want to kind of put a bow on this thing today and kind of wrap it up so we can have some fun tomorrow. Because tomorrow, Friday, is story time. So we're going to kind of put a bow on this personal communication thing today, and also maybe tease going into next week. So with that being said, I want to go ahead and start with a video clip. Now, this is a clip that's kind of going around social media spaces right now. Many of you probably already seen something to do with this clip. I'm sorry, I got caught up in the comments for a second. Most of you probably already seen some of this clip, but I just find it fascinating, man. It's really funny to me. So for those of you who haven't, I want to introduce you to the mayor. I think somebody called the mayor City Girl. All right, let's see.
Answer on our way to Springfield. Make sure you support the cause, support the movement.
Wait.
A South suburban politician spends taxpayer dollars on a march to Springfield to promote her personal charity. But when we started asking questions, the party's over.
Fox 32 and the Illinois Answers Project, part of the Better Government Association, are investigating the charitable foundation of Tiffany Henyard, who is on 2 public payrolls as Dalton mayor
Make sure
and
y'all hearing this.
Township
Y'all hearing this
supervisor.
right?
What we found is raising serious questions
Right.
about the use of taxpayers' dollars, employees, and equipment. Fox 32's Dane Placco investigates where all that money is going.
Nobody knows something. Don't nobody know nothing.
Tiffany Henyard certainly isn't shy about attracting attention. Here she is starting a Dalton Village board meeting dressed like the Wesley Snipes character in the movie New Jack City, later punctuating her political points with the help of her own DJ.
Every single resident. Pay me what you owe me.
Dressed like the Wesley Snipes character in the movie New Jack City, later punctuating her political points with the help of her own DJ.
Every single resident. Pay me what you owe me. Thank you, DJ.
Henyard's picture and name adorn virtually every public posting, both from Dalton, where as mayor she makes $46,000 a year, and in Thornton Township, where as the elected supervisor she collects more than $200,000 a year. But for all that money, Henyard's tenure at both has been chaotic, with firings, scandals, and a legal battle with the Dalton trustees over spending. So last fall, Henyard did something that would seemingly generate some good publicity, helping establish the Tiffany Henyard Cares Foundation to help breast cancer patients. And on the very day the charity was chartered, it received a huge donation, $10,000, from the Thornton Township Board, which Henyard presides over.
Taxpayer money shouldn't be paid into those types of things.
Stephanie Wiedemann is the former Thornton Township Chief of Staff, whom Henyard fired shortly after taking over in March of last year.
It almost felt like a takeover, and a very aggressive one at that.
Since her firing, Wiedemann has been documenting township spending and says she's stunned by the taxpayer dollars funneled into Henyard's charity, especially this.
We got 10 days. We're going 196 miles.
Last October, Henyard led a delegation of Dalton and Thornton Township employees and political supporters on a march to Springfield to promote her breast cancer charity, which she documented on her Facebook page.
We're walking through Dalton. All right, we're in Brightwood now. We are in Godly now. We in Bloomington, baby.
I can pretty much map out their entire Springfield trip on the township credit cards.
That's right. Henyard billed thousands of dollars in hotel rooms and meals during the trip to Thornton Township and Dalton credit cards. In addition, the videos show Henyard used multiple village and township vehicles owned by taxpayers to escort the caravan, including a flatbed trailer with a photographer, flying a drone, and a DJ.
We got our mayor right here coming from Dalton, Illinois, walking all the way to Springfield. Y'all make some noise for our mayor, the people's mayor.
But they didn't always walk.
We on motorbikes, baby.
At times, riding electric bikes.
Y'all see my bike?
Our township supervisor.
It looks like a misspending of tax funds. I think that's the biggest concern.
Dalton trustee Jason House has been doing battle with the mayor since she took office.
Very disturbing to hear these things or to kind of see some of the receipts that appear to be connected to it. And I think the taxpayers really deserve better than that.
And then there's the merch.
Here's the shirt. One of the t-shirts.
Along the way, Henyard sold and gave away t-shirts and hoodies, also available on her charity's website. A week before the trip, the township paid $17,000 for specially printed hoodies and t-shirts, but won't say what they're for.
I think that everything she has initiated has been something to promote her, something to get her name in household, something to get people to buy into voting for her.
Our investigation found at least $11,000 in public funds spent on that trip. But both Dalton and Thornton Township have been slow or unresponsive to open records requests. So what was the purpose of the 10-day march to Springfield?
I have created a bill, which we're going to speak before the Revenue Committee, to give everybody $5,000 on their income tax when they file, if you are suffering from cancer.
A noble goal, except the Revenue Committee wasn't meeting when the group arrived in Springfield. Henyard did later testify at a committee hearing in Chicago, but so far nothing has come of her bill.
I think I'm doing a damn good job on leave.
So we went to a recent Thornton Township Board meeting to ask Henyard some questions about all that spending.
I've never ever been bitter to the news. This is my olive branch to the media. Can you guys reach out to us and ask us our opinion before you post it? I would appreciate it.
And so we did.
I'll ask you a few questions.
Okay.
But Henyard wasn't anxious to talk about her charity.
Why did you and the board vote to give your foundation $10,000?
I'm the face of the foundation. My name is nowhere, sir.
Say again?
I'm the face.
You're the face. What was the purpose of going to Springfield?
Thank you, guys. Hey, she doesn't have any more comments, guys.
We're going to talk.
She doesn't have any more comments. Thanks, guys.
That's Keith Freeman, whom Henyard hired at both Dalton and Thornton Township and was part of her Springfield walk.
Look at Keith. Keith, baby.
Freeman also filed paperwork for the charity bearing Henyard's name.
Why are you using public money for your personal charity?
$17,000 for insurance.
And with that, her security detail hustled Henyard upstairs and blocked the staircase with a table. So we tried asking another employee who went on that trip.
You went down to Springfield, and what were you hoping to do in
You need to ask the
Springfield?
people that handles that. I'm not the one that handled it. I was just riding the bike.
We need more officers on the streets. We need our streets repaved. So to spend that kind of money on a charitable event or supposed charitable event really doesn't seem like the best use of tax dollars.
We also sent Henyard a detailed list of questions about her charity and how the money is being used. We've not yet heard back. Dane Placco, Fox 32 Chicago.
Where's the...
You've started your business and it's time to
So, yeah, all right, we're back. The problem that I think I have with this whole situation is not that she did something so wrong. It was the style in which she did it. Y'all should be able to hear me now, right? It's a little bit of delay. I know I think my AirPods picked up again when I came out of the video. So the problem that I think I'm having is the style in which she did it. The communication style. She's running for office. She's an elected official. And she makes all these campaign promises. And from what I can tell, she's trying to do some things. I did a little bit of a deeper dive into who she was and what she was doing. And she had this campaign where, like, that foundation, she was giving $5,000 to people suffering with breast cancer to do certain things. It's a noble idea. Then she was giving free roof repairs to veterans, free, some other free money for something. But we talk about speaking to be understood and actually listening to understand. And so she was taking money and she was putting it in the community, and the people that voted for her were accepting the money. People that worked for her were accepting the money, not understanding where the money truly was coming from. Because when we get money from the government, we're getting it back. It's our tax money, right? It's our tax money. And the broker the government is, meaning the more money the government gives out, guess what? The more taxes have to be raised. So, but I'm not talking about politics today. I'm talking about communication. And what happens? What happens when the barriers get in the way? If you are a resident of Dalton County or Dalton Village, and your mayor is taking lavish trips to Las Vegas, spending $17,000 on food and first-class flights, she's taking public money and funding her own nonprofits, it kind of puts a bad taste in your mouth, for politicians. Two, in the fashion that she did it, she was being her true, authentic self. Her true, authentic self. Language, everything. You can't say she was trying to be fake. She was being her authentic self. But when you've been bitten by somebody, whether it's a politician or a loved one or an employer, when they've treated you wrongly, they've misused stuff, or they got you fired, because she's had some people fired. Anything she says at this point, nobody wants to hear it outside of the entertainment value. I mean, she was even Nino Brown. And somebody knows something. Somebody knows something. Right? Am I my brother's keeper? She's funny. She's funny. She's injecting the culture all into her campaign. Love to see it. However, she's rubbing a lot of people the wrong way with what she's doing. So now, instead of making changes, helping the people, serving the people in the community, now she's being scrutinized at every turn. She's put on public trial in the court of public opinion, and everybody gets a chance to weigh in on what they perceive her to be doing. News organizations are going through her public, because government spending is public record. So news organizations are going through her credit cards. They're seeing where she's been, where she's spent, who she's paid, who she's fired. And she's getting paid from 2 townships. She's a supervisor or a manager over one township and the mayor of another. And they say that makes her somewhere around $300,000 a year. And she's still spending all this public money. Yeah. So today I want to have a conversation about, what do you do when you're triggered? What's your communication style? When somebody's done pissed you off, what's your communication style when things aren't going your way? Are you still speaking to be heard? Are you still listening to understand? And these are the conversations that we have, whether it's in the workplace, with family, with friends, whatever. These are the conversations in the times that get in the way of most of our success. And I just been seeing so much of the mayor there that I thought it was some fun to show, although it worked a little bit. But it's a bigger meaning behind it too, because now anything that she says is not going to be received in the way that she intends for it to be, because people are triggered. So we're going to talk about it today. When you're triggered, when you're in your feelings, when you've been upset and you had scars off of somebody, some organization, something, can you still speak and hear clearly? Can you still communicate in a way that gets you success? Before we get into it though, y'all know what time it is. We're going to get these gratitudes in, get this day started, because it's Friday, Junior. We got some plans, but we are getting ready for the weekend. And I think my guy D-Rob said he off tomorrow. So shout out to you, my guy. Shout out to you. I'm grateful, y'all. I'm grateful for a new day, new opportunities, new friendships, a new lease on life. I'm grateful that I am learning how to be a better communicator. As much as I hate to admit it, I'm grateful for all the misspeaks that I've had, that I've been corrected. I'm grateful for the feedback that I've been given that has made me a better communicator, one that is understood, still sometimes misunderstood, but I'm grateful that I have a heart to be better, to learn more, to make more of an impact, to use my voice as a weapon for good. I'm grateful for a space to do that in. I'm grateful for my journey, past, present, future, my life, my family, my business partnerships, and I'm grateful just to see another day. All right. Now, today is probably somewhat of a tease going into next week's conversation on family communications. So at this point, they're going to start blending together. So I'm going to give a list of communications traits. D-Rob says, I try to communicate in the same tone I speak, even when I'm upset. I like it. That's a good practice. Very good practice. Keeping it that steady level. I try. And I'm soft-spoken most of the time. But as my wife will attest, when I feel a little triggered, my voice does tend to elevate without me realizing it. Monique says, I used to pop off because what I said was taken out of context and spoke to be heard. Now I walk away to reset my mind. Again, I used to bring the samurai sword to the fight. Oh yeah, she was coming to cut. What was that? The Shogun Assassin? Y'all remember that? Anybody old enough to remember or entrenched in the kung fu culture enough to remember Samurai Assassin? It started out, the little boy says, when I was young, my father was the Shogun's assassin. And that's how it opened. But it was just a guy with this massive kung fu, samurai sword. And he was just cutting, just killing everybody. It was very gory, but it was a good watch to me. Monique says, I don't want to go back there. I don't blame you, man. It takes a lot of energy to be upset with people. It takes a lot of energy to maintain that level. And I don't like doing it either. So I'm going to read off a couple of traits or styles, communication styles that most people use when they get triggered. And we're going to talk about them for a few minutes. Let's start at number 15. Number 15, that will be, and I'm not going to read it, I'm just kind of going through how I have them numbered. Kay says, it depends on the relationship. My words can get ugly. I try not to go there. I ain't no kills, but I ain't no killer, but don't push me. All right, so I'm going to just read off a couple of these. I'm not even going to give y'all the numbers. When somebody gets triggered, they change the subject. They change the subject. They act like you didn't say nothing that you just said. And they start talking. You ask them, hey, did you talk to Rob about the next delivery? You know, for breakfast this morning, I had some grits and some eggs and some sausage. It's like, wait, what are you? That is not what I asked you. What are you talking about? Somebody that's a way of them saying, I'm triggered. I don't want to talk. I want to avoid talking about either the next delivery or Rob because I'm triggered by something. Anybody ever made anybody like that or know anybody that changed the subject whenever they get triggered? My mom used to do it a lot. D-Rob says, I feel like I'm going to turn up. Or if I feel like I'm going to turn up, I'll go to the gym and put on gospel. Okay. So you already have coping mechanisms to help you get past that. That's good. That's real good. Hey, man, yeah, bro, I like that. I like that. My favorite and my go-to, in all honesty, I have to be honest today, sarcasm. Oh, for Father's Day, I got a sarcasm plaque. What do you mean, boo? Yeah, I mean, my go-to is sarcasm. However, I think I got a little triggered when I was going through this list yesterday because I started seeing myself in a lot of these spaces. I started seeing myself in a lot of these spaces, and I realized when you've been hurt, when you've come through a lot of pain, you come through not healthy relationships, you find ways to cope. As D-Rob just said, he likes to go to the gym or put on some gospel. He feel like he about to snap. Me? Nah. I sit back and I just look for a second. All right, Kay. Don't start now. Don't start nothing. I know someone just like that. I might know him. I don't know. God? But yeah, so I just sit back and I just look. And I try to rationalize in my mind, okay, what am I feeling in this moment? Is she trying to upset me, or is he trying to get on my nerves right now? What is happening? Am I just feeling away because of something just happened? You know, I'm trying to make logical sense of it. But while I'm making logical sense, if the person just happens to still be standing there, sarcasm is probably going to come out. That's going to be the first thing. If I don't want to be sarcastic, then I might change the subject. I don't know. Maybe. We'll see. Because now that we're going through this, we have a better chance. And you see how the feedback is coming? Yeah, babe. Thanks for the feedback, boo. Unasked for. But thank you for the feedback. I appreciate that. Positive self-talk says, I get quiet and think. Yep. Ooh, what about this one? Gaslighting. Gaslighting. Now, okay, what is gaslighting? A lot of people talk about gaslighting. It is a really popular term today. So let's talk about gaslighting real quick. Gaslighting basically says something didn't happen. You imagined it, right? It's like, you trying to play me like I'm crazy. I know this happened. I know we had this conversation. It didn't happen. I don't know what you're talking about. That's kind of gaslighting. That's taking something that this person knows is a fact that happened, but you're trying to convince them that it didn't happen. That's basically what gaslighting is. If anybody has another definition of it, let me know what it is. But that's what I think gaslighting is. That's what I think gaslighting is. And a lot of people in social media will gaslight you. If you read the comments of celebrities, there's people in there, boy, they gaslighting like crazy. They trying to set these folks off. They trying to get a rise out of them. The paparazzi do it all the time. People that want to get a reaction from you, those are the ones who really gaslight. Generalizations. Well, all you people, all you men, all you women, all black folk, all white folk, generalizations. That's also a communication style. D-Rob says, I thought I was saying or doing something they know will piss. Well, yeah, it's the same thing. They're trying to get this reaction out of you. I mean, okay, let's look at it this way. Case is also known as trying it. So let's imagine you guys are driving down the highway and you pass the gas station. And then you see a sign that says, next gas station, 180 miles away. But you just passed the gas station and you look down and you say, I got a half tank. I should be good. But you get about 20 miles, 30, you get 30 miles because most cars can get you another 20 to 30 miles when the gas light come on. But you get about 30 miles to go and then your gas light pop on. What's the first thing you do? You get anxious, you get nervous, you get apprehensive, right? You feel this feeling of unease. That's how I see gaslighting in real spaces. People saying something to get this rise out of you, to put you in this uncomfortable place so they can get a reaction out of you. That's my definition of gaslighting. I know a lot of people like that, and it burns me up. Liars. is what it is called. Oh, what it is called, liars. It burns me up, got it. I walk away, I just can't do the yelling and loudness of tone. They're not going to get the reaction they are hoping for, but don't keep trying me. I like that too. Snap and point. Yep. Snap her fingers and point her fingers to get. I used to twitch when she did that. Oh yeah. See this manipulation. I am usually calm. Yeah. So between gaslights, generalizations. Now generalizations are a real thing. Meaning the average, the majority of people may do a certain thing, or the majority of people may do a certain thing. So that is a real thing. But then there's also the people who they go into the space where they want to shame you. They want to shame you because they're triggered. And the biggest shame that I think when I was I'm gonna go back because children are normally meaner. I won't even talk about relationships because that's gonna come up next week. I'm not gonna go that deep into that conversation. But children are mean. When I was, and I grew up in the 80s. I'm a child that grew up through the 80s. I wasn't born in the 80s. I actually lived through the 80s. I can remember it like it was yesterday. And we get to talking about something and somebody get embarrassed, or somebody crack a joke or somebody get embarrassed, and the person that laughs is the one that catches the heat, not the person that cracked the joke. And so let's just say it's me, one of my cousins, and we talking to one of our other cousins, and my cousin Derek crack on Desmond and says, "Hey, that's why you got a bald spot in the back of your head." And I laugh. "Shut up, Jamal. That's why you so black, tar baby." What did I do? You shaming me because you triggered. I ain't did a thing, right? That's kind of what shaming is. It was about to be like, oh, Ike and Tina. But some people, they're pros at the shame game. They're pros at the shame game. And unfortunately, the person who don't deserve it is normally getting the shame. And sometimes the person that deserves it get it too, but normally it's easier to attack the person that's not bothering you. Like your children. Your children have a bad day because the other parent got on my nerves. Sarcasm. I talked about sarcasm and using that patronizing tone. That's kind of what I do. Couple more. Let's see. Criticism. Criticism is a huge one too. You get into an argument with somebody or your significant other, or you at work and the boss says something in the staff meeting and he singles you out. That's why I hate this company, stupid company. Everybody in here stupid. And you walk around all day just criticizing and criticizing and criticizing. Toronto says, I don't know why, but there are times when I just laugh when someone tries to pop off. But I'm definitely keeping eye contact while they popping off. Oh, you better keep eye contact, folk. Hey, man. The part that I guess is maybe how I was raised and where I come from. I grew up in a time where you could say whatever you want to say. You can do almost whatever you want to do. But you knew consequences were coming. A lot of people in this generation, this culture, this time period, believe they can say and do whatever they want to say and do, and that there is no consequences and repercussions. I find that the most amazing thing. Like, people, we're still animals. We still have basic animal instincts, and some of us aren't as highly evolved as others. So the nerve of you to pop off of me like that, they're going to turn your back? Okay, I'm going somewhere I ain't want to go. But what I'm saying is it's triggers, right? Communication being somebody else's communication style might be to be dismissive or to belittle everything that another person says or does because they're triggered. Being emotionally triggered sets a lot of people off. Judgment. Somebody judges. They start judging everything. Somebody starts stonewalling. And I'll be honest with you, I stonewall too. Meaning I just avoid the conversation. I will give the silent treatment. This is what positive self-talk says. I get quiet. Say what you want, but don't spit or put your hands on me. Oh man, yeah, that's old school right there. Yeah, but so I'm good. I'm a ghoster. I'm a ghoster. But not the type that I see you and just leave you on red. I'm the type that I may not even check my messages for like 2 weeks. And I don't try to ghost people, but I'm so busy doing other things. As a matter of fact, while I'm talking about it, let me show the point. I'm gonna show my phone notification screen. Let me see if I can do that. Let me see if I can add this to the screen. All right, how much do you see? You can't see all that, so let me take myself off of the screen. Can we see it? All right, y'all see my y'all see my unread emails. Y'all see my unread social media posts. Yeah. It's real. It is real. It's like I don't try to ghost people, but I'm just so busy and I get focused on other things that I don't always check. And then by the time I check, I'm like, oh my God, I don't have time to look through all those things. And next thing you know, 2 weeks has gone by and now I'm just like, yeah. I mean, I have 630 unread voicemails. But I only have 4 unread text messages. Oh, snap. Wait. Maybe more than 4 now. Hold on. And so I am an inadvertent, I am a non-complicit stonewaller. But there's some people, that's their style. The moment something gets uncomfortable, they just withdraw. They fade away like Homer Simpson fading back into the bush. So if anybody else linked up with me on social media and I haven't gotten back, it's not that I don't want to be your friend. It's not that I don't like you. It just, I promise you, I literally work 85 to 90 hours every week. And so sometimes when I get downtime, I don't want to spend my 6 hours of my downtime going through all my messages. But I do go through them most of the time. Now, my emails, they are a little deceiving because they're also from an account that I just stopped. I created a whole new email account, so I had to go through that one no more. So some of those are there. But see, stonewalling. I don't know. I just got a lot happening, man. Woo. So that's the communication style as well. All right, two more. Ooh, contempt. He don't want to talk to y'all. Man, that is probably honestly the biggest criticism that I get from most of my friends and my family. It's like, bro, you never reach out. I text you like, and my daughter, oh my God, my oldest daughter, she the same way. I'll text her, she'll respond back 4 days later. And I get it. I'm fine with it, actually. I get it because I'm that way. We understand each other that way. But everybody else, I'm not big on inviting people to things. I'm not big on, and it's not that I don't want to. My mind doesn't really work that way. I don't think about it. I think about whatever's in my face right now, whatever I'm doing right now. So the people that I spend the most time with, they get the best of me because I am dialed in and focused in the moment right now. And I compartmentalize things. If it's time to think about, like talking about, we're buying this house, going through this house buying process. There's certain things that are due in January. It's October. I'm not thinking about it right now. It's not time. I got things in October to take care of. And so that's kind of how I compartmentalize things to keep myself going efficiently, to get the most amount of bang for my buck, to get the most time out of my day. I don't worry about what's going to happen tomorrow because today has enough worries of its own. So that's just kind of how I'm wired. But because of that, I will put things off sometimes and they will stay put off. They will stay put off. And that's something I have to work on and get better at. Positive talk, that's me too. Yeah, I believe it. Well, we know not to ask you to be in yeah, I might not be your best emergency contact. I hit you back in 2 weeks. Yeah, man, I lost my leg. I need a pint of blood and I lost my leg, bro. That's all good. I may respond the next day. Yep. But at least I'm honest. I understand it. And the thing is, once you understand it, you can take action on repairing that breach. And the number one thing on the list was defensiveness. Defensiveness. That is number one for a huge reason. Most people, they look at life like it's a game, right? There's offense and there's defense. And if this person is on offense, meaning they're attacking me, I have to defend. I have to try to get this turnover so now I can start attacking them, like a football game or a basketball game. That's how most communications take place. I have to defend myself because this person is trying to take advantage of me. This person is trying to get over on me. This person means me no good. So I have to defend myself so I don't feel bad, so I don't look bad. Because this person is trying to do something to me that is probably not going to be.
And you talking about, oh, I'm not a.
Okay. This person is not trying to do what's most beneficial for me. And that happens a lot in relationships. One of the number one complaints that guys have when they go into therapy or when they go into men's groups or they talking to their pastors and the conversation comes up about the interpersonal relationships at home. How do you and your wife get along? And the question is, the answer normally is, well, we get along great until I have a problem with her. Then we don't get along so good. And so the follow-up question is, well, could you explain more about what that means? Follow-up question is this. She could tell me how she feels, what she don't like, and I take it. Okay, I get it. I might push back a little bit, but okay, I get it. I try to get an understanding of it, but sometimes it's an easier fix. Sometimes it's a process and it takes some time. But as long as I'm on the right space, I'm in the right space for it, or the space to receive it, it goes pretty well. However, when I start to tell her what I don't like or how something she did made me feel, it instantly comes back as, well, what about what you do? That's defensiveness. That's the number one thing that most guys will say when they're trying to get help for their relationship. How do I get past that defensive wall? How do I get past that defensive barrier? And so there's numerous techniques to do it. Well, it's at least 3 that I know of. But we'll talk about, like I said, this is going to relationships a little bit. We'll talk about that going into next week. But there are 3 ways to do it. But most people don't come equipped knowing how to do that because it's a game. It's offense versus defense. Kay said my defense game used to rival the best players in the NFL. Oh, you know what? I can see that. I can definitely see that. I can see that. But then it goes to something that my great grandma used to always say. And I think, I'm not sure if you in this generation it's still said, but you can be right or you can be happy, but you can't be both. You could be right or you could be happy, but you can't be both. My great grandmother told me that years ago, even before I was even married. She told me, you can be right or you can be happy, but you can't be both, meaning at the same time. At the same time, especially if there's an argument happening. You have to choose what you want to be. If you want to be right, then you're probably going to take the other person off and you're not going to be happy. Even if you are right, how you give it to the other person, how you say it, your tone, all that stuff, it matters. It matters. You're going to fall under criticism. People are not going to like you, even if you're right. I mean, Kevin Samuels comes to mind when we talk about that, right? A lot of what he said was not wrong, but how he said it ticked so many people off. So many people off. Or do you just want to be happy? You know what? It's not even worth the conversation. You right. You got it. You know what? My bad. Hey, you want to go get some ice cream? What you want to do? You want to watch some TV? What you want to do? It's like you got to pick your battles. You got to pick your battles. Guilty. This is Monique says, guilty. I used to try to defend myself, but as this well-seasoned age, I walk away because I only speak facts when having disagreements. I am an open book, so whenever I know whenever someone is lying. I think I said that wrong. I'm an open book, so whenever I know when someone is lying. I know sometimes auto spell check be getting it sometimes. I struggle with this too, Bobby says, but I never do it anymore at all. That answer, ma'am, the lie detector test has determined that answer is facts. Right or happy, right? Facts. Yeah, babe. You never do that anymore. Yes, I'm happy for your growth. Toronto Regan says, I'd rather be happy. Being right isn't that important to me. Yeah, because at the end of the day, it's just perspective. It's just perspective. It don't really matter. It's an opinion. Most times we argue over opinions. They matter, but most times they're irrelevant because an opinion don't change a thing. It's just what you think about the thing that's happening. It don't affect the thing. So why put up all these barriers and all these roadblocks over something that really don't even matter? And I found that in relationships, the biggest problem in relationships, communications-wise, is always the small things. It's never the big things. The big things, we find ways to work through the big things, but it's the small everyday. Oh, she got an attitude today. Oh, he think he gonna just tell me what. It's the small things every day. It's communication. This is why we're going through this list, unpacking or at least unearthing these styles, so that when we recognize them, we can say, you know what, I got a little contempt in my voice right now. I'm being defensive right now. Because nobody ain't got to tell you when you're doing those things. You know, I'm being a little sarcastic right now. Oh, I'm stonewalling right now. We know. The problem is, though, when we get triggered, we don't think clearly because something on the inside of us is hurt. Even if somebody's trying to give us game, even if somebody's trying to put us in a better position, help us see things in a different way, because we're triggered, we can't think straight. And we're missing it. I had a class last night, and there was a young lady in this class. Well, she was 14. She's a freshman in high school. And her parents took her out of public school and put her in private school. And she did not like private school. So she was intentionally sabotaging, not doing her work properly. And so she didn't tell me this, but this is just what I surmised. She was getting bad grades in school as a sticker to her parents. You put me here, I don't want to be here, so I'm gonna make you waste your money. That's kind of what I pulled out of the conversation. She didn't say any of those words, but I know what a 14-year-old thinks, and her grades were good. She got pulled out for some disciplinary issues, behavior issues, and they put her in private school, and now all of a sudden her grades are bad. And so she is self-sabotaging herself. And so I asked her the question. I said, so what do you want to do when you graduate? Well, my first question was, why don't you want to go to be in private school? And she said, the kids are weird, they're spoiled, they're entitled, they're just dumb. I said, I get it. All right. So what do you want to do once you graduate high school? And she gave me this list of things that she wanted to do. One of them was going military. And so I kind of gave her the knowledge of, so do you realize by sabotaging your grades, you're messing up your chances on getting a good job? You messed up, if you decide to go to college, you messed up your chances of getting scholarships because your 4-year GPA matters. If you're an athlete and you got a bad 4-year GPA, you're probably not going to qualify for a lot of scholarships. I mean, you can still try to go walk on teams and maybe pay out a lot of student loans or FAFSA or whatever, but you're not going to get free money if your grades aren't right. And so I'm just kind of giving her game on what it is, and her eyes are kind of getting big, and she's like, I didn't know that. I didn't realize that. And I'm like, yeah. I said, because you're triggered because of something that they did, now you've cut all communication. You've cut all communication because you were triggered, and now you're sabotaging yourself because you're not thinking clearly. And that's what we do. We get in the way of our own success because we don't understand what we're doing in this moment is affecting how this other person sees us, how this company sees us, or what we're going to do going forward, which could get us fired, could have us in a breakup, could have us not speaking for weeks at a time. And the one thing I will say about my relationship, my wife now, is when we first got into a relationship, and I would stonewall, or if I didn't want to argue with her about something that I thought was not worth arguing about, I just ignore it or just pretend like it wasn't there, stonewalling. She would come to me and she said, hey, you remember you told me about how you grew up and you said you didn't want to live like that as an adult? I'm like, yeah. She's like, then that's what we're doing right now. How can we fix that? How can we get ahead of that? And she came to me in such an earnest way that I couldn't be mad. I couldn't say, oh, you throwing up my family business. I couldn't do any of that because she came to me in a calm way that says, babe, I'm not happy with this. And I know you're not happy with that. How do we fix it? She showed me that she listens to me, and she showed me that she wants better. She wants what I want. So now we can actually have a conversation. And now I say, okay, boo, if you ever see me, if I fall back into this habit or this pattern, because I grew up in the era where children ought to be seen and not heard. So stonewalling is kind of a natural learned behavior for me. It's a learned behavior for me. This is how you stay safe. And so I talk about my stuff. I ain't gonna talk about her stuff because, I like to be happy. I enjoy being happy. Let's see, what else y'all talking about? I'd rather be happy. Being right is important, okay? I'm learning to let people think and say whatever because that piece is something special. Yes, Bobby nods in agreement. Being defensive was something I was doing and didn't realize it. Now, depending on who it is, I try to possess or process for a second and ask myself a series of questions before responding. There we go. That's what I do too. Monique says, me now. Yep, that's what she do. Want to go get something to eat? Yeah. Hey, man. Oh, man. Oh, see, look at that. All that love going in there. And so I talked about this a few weeks ago, but I wasn't able to show because I didn't have it.
It's hard out here. And you talking about, oh, I'm not a man if I'm going 50-50 with my woman. It's hard, brother. And you sitting up here, your nice house, your nice jewelry, nice cars. Oh yeah, man, you gotta do 100%. How? How, brother? If I'm making $14 an hour, what you expect? You still on there. Oh yeah, man, 100%. You're not a man. You're not a man. How? I'm still working. I'm still providing, right? So what makes me not a man? Because I'm going 50-50 with my woman.
And brother, I applaud you because I understand that it is hard out here. But we are men, so we have to go harder. I'm not saying or trying to speak down to you, my brother, by any means necessary. I'm not. But I want you to be reminded of something that our fathers didn't teach us, that we must go hard and that we shouldn't get into a relationship with a woman until we have direction.
But who are you to say that?
A person that cares, a person that loves you, a person that's been in your shoes and understands how it feels when we can't give our family what they truly deserve. We have to go hard. Now, give me one moment. I've been in your shoes. And when I was in your shoes, I stayed in my lane. I lived where I lived. My woman didn't work. She nurtured to the children till I got this. And I'm trying to give you the cheat code. Do what you need to do so you can feed your woman, and while she's nurturing the children, she can also nurture your dreams and your goals. Now you can be successful. Now you don't have to say, I'm working for $15. Now you can say, I got employees that I'm paying that's working for me for $15. I'm trying to elevate you, but men get so caught up in their emotions and their pride, and the first thing you want to do is feel attacked. Get the wisdom.
This is coming from a rich man.
But right now you're acting triggered. But right now you're acting triggered.
But this is coming from a rich man.
But how did I get here?
Yeah.
But how do I give you? And I'm giving you the steps. This is, if you put down your ego, if you put down your pride, brother, am I saying anything wrong? I'm saying men should be men.
But you saying we not men. You saying we not men.
Brother, any man that makes an excuse can't be a man completely. You can be a male. A man comes with responsibilities, and it's hard. To be a man, it's hard, brother. It's not easy. That's why the respect you want from your woman that you don't get, I get from mine.
My woman respect me.
Hold on.
My woman respect me.
You think she respects you.
My woman respects me.
Defensiveness, right?
She respects you.
Brother.
You think she has she ever raised her voice at you?
No.
Does she cook for you every night,
Of
brother?
course.
So she respects you. Cooks for you every night. Does she clean the house?
Of course.
She cleans the house, and you got her working 16 hours a day. That sounds like slavery.
No, it's not.
Brother, you got her cooking every night.
I don't have her doing anything. She does it because she wants to.
She do it because she wants to.
Together.
The trenches together?
That's what we in.
Brother, do you know anything about emotional abuse?
Explain it.
Emotional abuse is when you pour all your hurt and pain onto a woman, and just because you can't see her scars, you think it's okay. If I had a conversation with your woman, she'll probably start crying. They tired. They not built to go through what they're going through with you. She didn't choose you to struggle.
But again, who are you to say that?
Brother, a brother that loves you. And again, I'm trying to give you the cheat code. If you put yourself in a position, right, you work. If you have to get 2 jobs, you grind, allow your woman to do what she does in the home. If you have a business idea, you have her nurture that, hey, baby, it's going to be a little hard for the next 2 years. But if we move like this, we're going to be good. You keep saying, who am I to tell you this? A man that's been in your position. A man that has risen above your circumstances. And I'm coming.
Yeah. So I just wanted to share that with you. That was the one I talked about a few weeks ago. And this guy had almost every defensive posture or communication barrier that I listed, this negative style. He had contempt in his voice for my guy. He was defensive. He was stonewall for a second. He was judging. He was criticizing. Label is coming from a rich man. Patronizing, sarcasm. He almost got into shaming, but I think he realized shaming would have kind of backfired. It wouldn't have worked in his favor. Generalizations, control, gaslighting. I mean, as the video goes on, he even said, do you like chicken? Nope. Do you like steak? Nope. When he is so triggered, he can't hear anything that this man is saying. He can't soak up none of the game that this man is giving him because he's triggered. He got all these barriers up. Everything but punch him. He got all these barriers up. Not hearing the man say, brother, I've been where you were. I've been where you are, man. Brother, I love you. I'm trying to help you get from here to working for $15 an hour to having a company where you paying people $15 an hour. I'm trying to help you flip the game, but you don't want to hear me because you and your feelings, you and your pride, you and your ego. Which is why sometimes, actually most times, when you are emotional, when you are feeling triggered, by somebody at the job. You didn't get the promotion you thought you deserved. Y'all remember Cam Newton in the Super Bowl 2015. I remember intimately because that's my team. And they had just lost to the Denver Broncos. And so they sitting at the press conference, and Cam just sitting there. You could see the fury in his face, in his eyes. And the reporters was asking him questions. And he was just like, yeah, no, I mean, we could have been better tonight. But he could hear the other press conference happen. They was laughing and celebrating. He gets up and storms away. Now, I know what that was about because he from the same school I'm from. He wanted to fight in that moment. He wanted to go throw them paws on somebody. I get it. I know exactly what he was feeling. He was triggered. He couldn't think. He couldn't stay there and answer questions. So he did the best thing he could do, which was leave the stage. I'd rather you talk about me because I walked away than the police coming to break us up. As D-Rob said earlier, I'd rather put on some gospel music and go to the gym than to blow up and have to get a restraining order put against me. As Monique would say, I'd rather go walk away than to have to pull this samurai sword out. It's all about understanding where you are, what your triggers are, and then walking away. Now I ain't gonna tell that story. I'll tell that story next week. Has to do with some drapes, but I'll tell that next week though. Maybe a plate or two, but next week. Spoilers. Monique said, this video is good. He did everything but punch him. He can't hear the help that is being offered. He couldn't hear it because he was triggered. And that's how we are in relationships so many times. We don't hear what the person is really saying to us. We hear what we're feeling, and we're thinking to alleviate that feeling. All he heard was womp womp. Yep. That was a deep video, man. And it's hard. It's hard when you deal with guys who were not raised by father or raised around their fathers, because there's something about a father's presence that, like, I'll get around my sons and now I don't even really got to elevate like I used to, but because they are so used to me elevating, they know how to process it better. So they don't go as deep into their feelings because they know, all right, man, he gonna say his piece, but he gonna be fair. So I'm gonna listen. I don't want to hear it, but I'm gonna listen. And guys who don't grow up with that, having to learn that thing or had to develop that toughness in their skin, they tend to be more emotional and they don't process it better as adults. So they do make a little bit more rasher decisions, or they do put up higher walls in the communication. It's harder to get through sometimes. Oh, D-Rob said, guilty. I've been the other guy. Bruh, no, the secret is we all have been. We all have been. Now, maybe not to the extreme. Maybe not to the point we were that triggered. There's different levels of it. Because I've caught myself plenty of times being, one of my mentors would be like, so in this moment, why are you being so defensive? And I had to catch myself. And I'm like, am I being defensive? I'm like, because I feel like you don't get where I am. And he was like, well, so why don't you feel like I get where you are? Don't you know my story? Yeah? Haven't I been in a situation like this? Yeah, I have. You have. So I'm out of it now. I'm doing better. And I'm your mentor. So do you think I'm here to do you harm? And in that moment, I'm like, all right, you right. You right. All right. He said, I know it's tough to hear. And I know it's not going to be easy, but I did it and so can you. All right, bro, you good. All right, I feel you. And so part of the communications process is not just speaking. It's not just being heard. It's speaking to be understood. It's listening to understand. And sometimes that means understanding what barriers go up in people's mind and then either working around it or calling a timeout. because they may not be able to. They might want to keep going. They engaged. No, we ain't gonna stop now. Yeah, we need to stop right now, because you're not. I want a solution. I don't just want to argue. I want a result. I don't want to win the argument, because the war is much more important than this little battle right now. This battle will never be recorded in history, but the war is what I want to win, and I want us to come out victorious. So that's the attitude we need to have with communication. So, man, I think it's been a good week. What we're going to do real quick, let's go ahead and knock these affirmations out, and then we'll close it out. Drapes? I am more than enough. I am victorious. I am wealthy. I am healthy. I am strong, because I am more than enough. In this moment, in this day, I am necessary. The energy that I bring to my job, I am necessary. The support that I give to my family, my loved ones, to my friends, I am necessary. The love that I give is necessary. The love that I receive is necessary, because I am more than enough. That means I am necessary in this culture, in this society, in this community, in this city. I am more than enough to see all of my dreams come true, to manifest visions and dreams, because I am more than enough. I am a conqueror. I am a victor. I am more than enough. I am more than enough, ladies and gentlemen. So are you. Life is about the process. It's about self-discovery. It's about learning who you are. And this communications piece, you need to know the barriers just as much as you know the styles of them. Am I passive aggressive? Am I aggressive? Am I just passive? Am I direct? Am I indirect? Knowing the style that you are is very important, but also knowing the barriers that get in the way of you actually understanding and having good dialogue, getting good outcomes in your life. Because at the end of the day, that's what we all want. We want the results that we want. And if we're not seeing those results, it is on us to go back, to dig deep, and find out why we don't have them. The onus is on us to make our lives the best it can be. So I want to go back to the top, and I want to say shout out to Toronto Riggins for reclaiming that #1 spot. D-Rob, hey, bro, appreciate you, man. Shout out to you. Cuzzo, that chick, yo. You guys up here having whole conversations. I'll set the stream, send notification out, and then I'll walk away to go do something else. And when I sit back down, you guys having a full-blown conversation, and I'm excited about it. I love it. And D-Rob, yo, hey, bro, I don't care if you ain't on the big-time level yet. You coaching, I want to come and see your greatness, brother. I want to do it. So just let me know when you out there doing your coaching thug thizzle. I want to be in the building. I want to say I knew him when. So when you out there like Mike Tomlin, you know what I'm saying? When you coaching some historic franchise, Super Bowl champion, Hall of Fame coach, I want to be like, I knew that guy back when he was just a young gun. That's right. Oh, man. Craig G. Be safe on that road, my guy. Appreciate you. Always listening in the background. Almost like a stalker. Kay. Shout out to you. Monique, what up, sis? Oh man, Bobby, baby, I love you. You guys are awesome, man. I just don't know what I did to deserve a group just like you all. Health Talk, bruh. We gotta connect, man. My schedule's busy, but we're gonna figure it out here soon. Hopefully sooner than later, though. Positive self-talk, yo. Much love, much respect. Thank you for sharing your positive energy. Everything, it matters. It matters a lot. It really does. Okay, I think that's everybody. And for those of you who come in and you soaking it up, join the family. Matter of fact, if you haven't hit that like button, hit it as you go out the door. Come on. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Join the family. Join the conversation. We want to hear your thoughts, your opinions, what you have to share, your thoughts, because nobody has all the answers. There is nobody perfect on the planet. We're human, which means we're flawed. I'm doing the majority of the talking here, but I have so many flaws that I'm working on daily. And I'm just helping, as I do my journey, I'm helping you do your journey, and we're doing it together. That's what life is about. That's what community is for. And I'm happy to share that with you. I'm glad that you're here. Yes, sir. When I'm in Florida in a couple of weeks. I like it. Yeah, the Facebook page is coming. Morning motivation is gonna happen. Probably over the holiday week, holiday season, because we're both crazy busy, but it's gonna happen real soon. Yeah, that's it for today. It's Friday. It's story time. So y'all get your popcorn. It's gonna be entertaining. Have a blessed day. Make the bay the best day you can. As Health Talk says, have a great day no matter what. Y'all be blessed. We'll see you tomorrow. Peace.